I'm just going to cut straight to the chase. HTVRONT is having a Father's Day sale and I don't want you to miss out. Let's get started. Hello everyone and welcome to Crafting with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. Do you see all this goodness right here in front of me? It is because HTVRONT is having a spectacular Father's Day promotion right now. As a matter of fact, if you purchase one of the HTVRONT Auto Tumbler Presses, you will get a free mini press. They also have other bundles as well on their website. I do have the links below for you to check them out. They have bundles that include sublimation paper, their glass tumblers, and their 20-ounce skinny tumblers. And if you've been following me for any length of time, you know just how much I love their Sublimation HTV for dark fabrics. I used everything you see here today in this tutorial, and hopefully you will find it helpful. If you do, remember to like the video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Now, without further ado, let's look at the materials and dive right in. The materials I'll be using for the projects that I'm doing today include the HTVRONT Auto Tumbler Press. I'll use some HTVRONT Sublimation glass tumblers, HTVRONT Sublimation tumblers. These are 20-ounce skinny tumblers. I'll also be using all HTVRONT 8.5 by 11 sublimation paper, HTVRONT Sublimation HTV. This is a Gildan 100% heavy cotton extra large sweatshirt. All of the images will come from Creative Fabrica. I'll be using that heat press back there. It's a 16 by 20 auto open Walla press that I purchased from Heat Transfer Warehouse. My printer is an Epson EcoTank 2760 that has sublimation ink inside. These projects require sublimation ink. Let's get started. In order to use the HTVRONT Sublimation HTV for dark fabrics, I uploaded the Super Daddy-O design to Cricut Design Space. And here's the design right here. I'm going to click Add to Canvas. And because I uploaded the image that is a PNG, I know I automatically need to resize it. So I'm going to just bring it down just by clicking on the corners. And I can see that I don't have an error right here in my layers panel. And right now the size of this is at 9.86 by 4.6. I just want to make it a little bit taller if possible. So let's see if I can do that. I'm at 9.86 by 4.82. Okay, so I have an error. Let me kind of bring it down. Okay, so this is still allowable on 8.5 by 11 paper. Now that I have my PNG sized as big as I can size it, I don't think if I go any bigger, it'll give me an error, so I'll stop. All right, so what I'll do now is just quickly add an offset to this. So with the image selected, I'll go up here to offset, and I'm going to add a small offset. I don't want it to be that thick because I just want it to be big enough for my image to be on top of the Sublimation HTV. I don't want it to be the main focus of the project. So let me see. Right now it says 0.111. I think that's still a little bit big. Okay, so now it says 0.069. Let me click apply. I think that's great. I'm going to change my offset to a basic cut. And it's okay if it's showing up as gray over here because I know it's actually white. And so now I'm ready. Let's look at the offset. So this is perfect. This will be the Sublimation HTV. This will be my printed image. Let's click make. I'm not going to save this because I'm only using it one time. So now I will get this printed with my Epson EcoTank 2760 series printer. I'm going to click continue. I'm going to send this to my printer. Okay, so my computer is thinking about it. I'm going to turn the add bleed off and use system dialog. I'll click print. And this is going to take me to my printer settings. I'm going to preferences, and I'm going to go to my sublimation preset, and I'll keep it just like this. And I have mine set to do a print previews just in case it doesn't look how I need it to look. Okay, so I'll click print, and it's going to give me the print preview screen. Okay, that's absolutely perfect. Now, what I need to make sure you notice is that right here, my image is mirrored, and over here in Cricut Design Space is not mirrored. These two things have to match. Okay, so if I'm mirroring here, once I get this printed and I go back over to Cricut Design Space, I'm going to make sure it's mirrored over there. So my Sublimation HTV will be mirrored. Everything I'll do from here will be back on the camera. The tumbler press is set for 390 degrees Fahrenheit for 70 seconds. It is completely taped. I'm going to insert it with the seam up and sublimate this for 70 seconds. While this one is sublimating, I will be preparing my second tumbler, and I have my image right here. I'm going to cut off any of the excess white and get the tumbler tape. HTVRONT tumblers come in individual boxes. They come with a straw. They also come with the little piece, the rubber piece that goes on the bottom, but I'm removing the lid and I'm putting that to the side and the box, and I'm going to just double check for the size, and then I will cut away any of the excess white. So it stopped on the first rotation. Now I'm just going to turn the seam all the way to the bottom. And start it again. Okay, so now it has sublimated both sides. I'm using my gloves, and I am going to carefully remove the tumbler from the tumbler press, and I'll just put it right here and give it time to cool off, and I will get my second tumbler wrapped. Okay, my second tumbler is being sublimated right now. Let's go ahead and unwrap this because you know I am very impatient when it comes to this, and I can't wait to see how this turned out. Let's see, I did not use a lot of tape. You know, I don't like to use a, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my, okay, let me calm myself down. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it so much. I did not use a lot of tape, and oh my gosh. I love it so much. Look at how gorgeous this is. Look at how gorgeous this is. I love it. I love it. Let's look at our second tumbler. I'm excited. Whenever you can see the image through the paper, that's always a good sign. Okay, so let's look at it. I didn't even read to see what these said. See if they, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Y'all know I'm going to say I love it. You already know I'm going. I love it already. I love it. Oh my goodness. Keep a weeding tool handy, but just be careful when you're peeling it back. Okay, here's the second tumbler. Dad joke loading. Aww. Ain't no hood like fatherhood. This came out so good. I love it. I love it so much. And I know most dads would love to get a tumbler like this. I want to let it cool down a little bit before I put the lid on it. But while this is cooling down, I will be wrapping my last tumbler. This is a frosted glass tumbler from HTVRONT. It does come with a bamboo lid and a straw. And I think I have the perfect image to use for that. It just says Dad Fuel. And so I'm just going to wrap it around and get it taped. All right, so what I decided to do was cut the paper in half. And because I did that, I wanted to know where was the exact opposite side of this left side. So I taped this side down. I just got a long piece of tape to stretch and fit over here, and then I taped the right. So now I'm going to just tape both images down, and I'm not worried if they are proportionately separated or not. I feel like they are. So now I'm just taping the image to the glass, and we will get them sublimated. Now I have my glass jar taped. I think it's taped good enough. I did increase the time to 90 seconds. So I'm doing 390 degrees Fahrenheit for 90 seconds. I'm going to rotate it after the first 90 seconds. So I'm going to get it inserted. So the 20-ounce tumblers do come with this rubber piece that goes on the bottom, and it says hand wash only, do not microwave. So in case you forget, remember, just like that. I'm going to rotate this to the other side. All right, our time is up. Ooh, got some scorching on the paper. I'm actually finished with my tumbler press. I'm going to power it off and just move it over here to the side. And I'm going to start to peel this because I am very impatient, and this is very, very hot. Make sure you have on some heat protective gloves. Let me get my weeding tool. Be careful when you're using a weeding tool that you don't scratch up the, oh my goodness, I know it's gonna look great. Oh my goodness. Look how cute. I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. I love it. It is perfect. I love it so much. I am not going to add the lid until this cools down. But while this is cooling down, let's move on to our shirt. I already have my heat press heating up, but now it's time to get my image cut out with the sublimation paper and the HTVRONT Sublimation HTV for dark fabrics. Whenever you get ready to place the sublimation paper on your mat, make sure it matches the image on the screen. So you see my image is mirrored here. It's also mirrored. So this way I know it should cut accurately. Now I'm going to insert the mat into the machine. So my image has been cut out. I use the cardstock for intricate cut setting. So now I'll remove this from the mat and I'll get the Sublimation HTV cut out. And it is also mirrored in Cricut Design Space. I'm going to make sure the mirror is on. And for this, I'm using the everyday iron-on setting. Now I'm going to remove the Sublimation HTV from my Cricut Explorer Air, and I'm going to weed this, and we will get it pressed on the sweatshirt first. The temperature should be 302 degrees Fahrenheit. So when I'm using the Sublimation HTV for dark fabric, I always have to refer back to the instructions every single time, and I've used it a lot of times. So now we're at the part where we're at the heat press, and it says to preheat the press to 155 degrees Celsius, which is 302 degrees Fahrenheit. So now I'm going to pre-press my fabric for 5 to 10 seconds using heavy pressure. Now what I'm going to do is place the Sublimation HTV on the fabric with the glossy side facing up. So here is the glossy side, it's facing up. I'm still coming down 3 fingers from the collar. So glossy side facing up, 3 fingers from the collar, just like that. And I'm going to press this for 10 seconds. Now this is a cold peel. A cold peel means I don't peel it until it completely cools down. So I'm going to remove it from my heat press and let it completely cool down. My image has completely cooled down, or the Sublimation HTV has completely cooled down. I'm going to peel it, peel the backing away. And it's not just cool down, it's cold. Now I'm going to take my sublimated image and I'm going to tape this face down on top of the Sublimation HTV. So I'm going to need to use some heat resistant tape and just kind of get this lined up. You want to make sure your complete image is on top of the Sublimation HTV. Like 5. Now, what I'm going to do is put butcher paper on top of this. The reason why I'm putting butcher paper on top is because I don't want any of this ink to get on my heat press. That's the purpose of butcher paper, is to protect your heat press. I did increase the temperature to 392 degrees, and I'm going to press this with firm pressure for 50 seconds. All right. Now, you know, this is always my very favorite part of any tutorial, hands down. So let's see if there's there's nothing on this butcher paper except this sheet. I wouldn't use this one again. I'll definitely use this one again. Okay, let's see what we are working with. Let me get my weeding tool. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me keep peeling it up. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. I just have to be careful peeling this up. It's looking so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me continue. Okay, I will get a wet paper towel and kind of wipe that. All right, so this is the finished sweatshirt. And what am I going to say? I love it. Now I am going to get a wet paper towel and kind of wipe that. And then I will come to the table and give you my final thoughts about the whole thing. But I love it. I love it. Okay, what I'm going to do is I just have some water on this paper towel. I'm just going to wipe this away. And if that happens to you where some of the sublimation paper sticks, all you have to do is just gently wipe it away. So now you can see that I don't have that problem on my sweatshirt anymore. So hopefully you have found this tutorial helpful. I love all of these gifts, and I think any father would. I love the way the sweatshirt turned out with the Sublimation HTV for dark fabrics. I love the frosted glass tumbler with the dad fuel. I love the dad jokes. And of course, I love the bonus dad tumbler. Now, we didn't personalize it, but if you are going to be using this file, you can always add names to it to your liking. If you did find this helpful, remember to like the video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Don't forget to check out the links below because you will save on your purchase. Check out all that HTVRONT has to offer on their website. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thanks for watching. Bye.